teams with a realistic chance of winning this one. Well, appropriately, Volero Zurich to open the tournament against Partizan Vizura Beograd of Serbia in Group A. I'm Simon Golding, and I'll be with you for the first of our 4 live matches today. Top 2 teams qualify through from each group to the semi-finals at the end of round-robin play. And as always, with this particular tournament, the FIVB are using it to trial various innovations. So we're going to have 16 high-speed camera video reviews available for the challenges. And also the coaches and referees today are equipped with tablet computers. That's going to aid in their submitting the starting rotation, the starting lineup. But also they're going to use them for substitutions and for calling for those video reviews. So plenty to look forward to over the next 3 days of volleyball. It'll be interesting to see just how strongly Volero Zurich do start in this one, against a very, very interesting team. More of that later. Let's meet the officials first of all. First official, Milan Labasta of the Czech Republic. Second official, ably assisting from the floor, Susana Maria Rodriguez Yativa of Spain. So then the officials just going through that final check. Teams are already warmed up and ready to go. This is how the Volero Zurich team line up. It really is an excellent group of international players. It really is a cosmopolitan feel to this team as well. 9 nationalities involved across the board. Courtney Thompson, the captain from the USA, 30 years of age now, the former Washington Uni player, and backed up with an absolute smorgasbord of fantastic hitters, some really quality professional athletes in there. And they go up against a really inexperienced team. Partizan Vizura Beograd, very, very young club, only 12 years of age, and technically the only private club in Belgrade and in the league over in Serbia. But this group of athletes, just look at the ages. 21 years of age is their senior player, Maja Savic, their middle blocker. But look out for the quality of their captain, Tijana Boskovic, the opposite player, 1m95 tall, touches 315 in the spike. She's just 17 years of age and has finally made it into the senior squad after being pushed that way from the junior squad for about 2 years now. They've been talking about her as a potential superstar on the world stage. So Volero Zurich in their blue, coming out onto the floor. The starting lineup's being kept pretty secretive, I have to say. Coaches keeping their powder dry ahead of this tournament, and I think really wanting to see if this trial tablet works as they submit the lineups for each set. But Thompson with the big shoulder barge, coaching staff in a Christmas mood, I see, with the players still. She'll be the star and the leader of this team, and then it's all about how coach Dragutin Baltic is going to rotate his hitters onto this court. A couple of quality liberos as well in Popovic and Hagland playing for this Volero Zurich team. And it's Stefan Kulinek, incidentally. He's the man that does all the scouting, the German coach, does all the scouting and signing of these big-name athletes. Linkovic, number 3, getting a start along with number 9, Mammadova, their star signing from the Russian team, Amichka, the Azerbaijan international, but not the only star signing for Zurich. I'll bring you up to date as we go through into the first set with those. From the point of view of this Beograd team, I mean, it's so young, it's so inexperienced, but all of these athletes getting considerable success at club level, have dominated the junior scene at club level under their new coach, Radjovic, who's been working with all the junior players for a long time now. It looks like they really do have a quality side, despite the fact that just about every single player is still a teenager. That's your starting 6 for Zurich then. Mammadova and Rabatieva going through the middle. And outside, the formidable Cuban athlete, Sanchez Perez. Look out for her in action. Merkovic and Boskovic, so the 2 stars for this Partizan side, start on court. Lozo and Rankovic, so Lozo doing well to get a start. Savic and Kocic. Stepanovic will be the libero player. These 2 teams now just about ready to go with our opening match at this Top-Volleyball tournament. Day 1 of 3 here on Eurosport 2 from the Top-Volleyball International Invitational Tournament in Switzerland. Basel the hosts here in the Jakob Halle. And Volero Zurich, the home side, being the champions and current leaders of the Premier Division in Switzerland. They are in blue. Team nearest the camera up against the team in dark blue. The youngsters from Partizan Vizura, Beograd. Virtually a teenage side out on court for the Serbian team. Whereas from the point of view of Volero Zurich, some serious international quality and experience. Not least of all, Olympic silver medalist backup setter, former Washington University player Courtney Thompson. Won the NCAA title back in 2005 with them. Setting and captain for Volero Zurich. And the service resulting in an all-out attack from the superstar for this Partizan team, their captain, Boskovic. But the left-hander just missing from that back line. 16 high-speed cameras set up today for the challenge scenario. We are going to play with teams able to challenge refereeing decisions for ball in or out, feet on the line, centre line and 3-metre line, that is. And not unexpected to see Volero Zurich getting off to a solid start here. They are clear favourites to win this opening match. The other team in their group, Moliko of Brazil, also packed with international quality. Top two teams of 3 in each group, Group A and B, go through to the semi-finals tomorrow. That's Eurosport 2 tomorrow. Late afternoon and into the evening, and then it's finals day on Monday. So Thompson missing her serve, but the captain yelling out the commands to the hitters, getting ready for this first opportunity to attack if the ball goes in this time, which it does. Tough serving team of Partizan. That's where Zurich's problems are going to come. And they will be only too aware that their last outing in the Champions League, the CV Denizbank Champions League for 2014-2015, was not a good one in terms of their passing. Thompson the first to admit, as a setter, she really found that she was struggling to get to the ball to set plays up. And Partizan will try and exploit that, but they haven't started particularly well on service reception themselves. Ball off the block and out. Vikliuk convinced that she'd done enough there, the Bulgarian opposite player. Apologies, Ukrainian opposite player. The number 7 shirt, signed back in 2013 for Volero Zurich. Most players will do a tenure. If it's an overseas player, they'll do a tenure of maybe 2-3 years with a club before they move on. A miss from Mamadova. That was one of the big summer signings coming to Volero Zurich. Natalia Mamadova from Omichka in Russia. 30 years of age now, Mamadova, but still a quality player. Azerbaijan. Oh, that's a great hook back into play, and Thompson making sure of it. Messy pass though. Nearly cost Partizan there. Not a great pass in, but well controlled by the setter, Mirkovic. So Volero 2 clear. Race to 25 if you haven't seen volleyball before. Best of 5 sets. Oh, that's the quality of the former Cuban international. She is an exceptional player and statistically just beats everybody on this court. 3.16 she touches in the block, in the spike attack, sorry, 2.97 in the block. So gets comfortably above that net. Not so good in the attack there, but Mamadova no need to trouble herself with the dive. Opposite player only left with an opportunity to volley that one from the floor. Made the mistake that a lot of players make, tried to win the point from the floor. Just got to try and keep it in play. Sanchez overcooking that one. Sanchez, who has played a long time in Kazakhstan, officially a Kazakhstan citizen now. Served her last tenure with Almaty before signing for Volero Zurich, so technically could play for that nation. Time with Cuba over. Free ball, easy pass. Thompson going nice and wide. A little bit of luck there through the outside. Rabadzieva will be the first to acknowledge that that was a miss hit. But you know what? They work. They work very well indeed. Full swing, just catches the side of the ball. She was trying to cut that inside the block, but cut it too hard. And Lozo completely defeated by that one. Good start for Zurich. Welcome back to the Jakobshalle in Basel, Switzerland. Day one and match one of our coverage here on Eurosport 2 from the Top-Volleyball International Women's Tournament. Some cracking action for you over the next 3 days. We start with Volero Zurich up against Partizan Vizura Beograd. The Belgrade juniors in the darker shirts, playing from right to left in this first set, just struggling at the moment against their illustrious opponents. Good pick up from Boskovic, but not well recycled, I'm afraid. Well, that's the kind of scrappy play you will get from a junior team. You will also get periods of unbelievably good serving, fiery defence, and they will put themselves in with chances at this tournament. But at the moment, it's the solid consistency of Zurich that is winning out. Rikliuk with the serve. That's nice work through the middle. Not an easy ball to hit that one for the middle player, just a little bit behind the shoulder. Metre and a half off the net, but well finished. A real enigma, this Partizan team. Pretty much all junior players. They've got a couple of 15-year-olds on the bench, but all Serbian players as well, all homegrown talent. This time, captain unable to stop the ball. Tijana Boskovic, the real star player, just 17 years of age, made it into the Serbian senior squad. Opposite player at 194 tall. She touches 315 in the spike and has a good block as well, Boskovic. The only player that can really match Sanchez or get close to Sanchez. Zurich's side. Another good finish through the middle, so Partizan trying to play this centre part of the net as much as possible. Savic this time with the put away, which sends Boskovic back to the service line. Is right bang on the line. Now we're going to have our first challenge. 16 high-speed cameras, 180 frames per second on offer today, and everybody could see that that was fine. Players with a hopeful request that that was out, but no challenge forthcoming, and they would have wasted it, Volero Zurich, if they had have challenged. So good serve from Boskovic, keeps the points difference at 3. Don't want to let Volero Zurich get away from them. Good stop, very good stop in the middle. So a couple of decent points there. Put away an attack for Maja Savic, followed by a nice middle block. Touches 295 on the block. 188 tall, so pretty much your average height for a professional player in that middle blocking position. And, the captain, this Partizan team, leading the line at the moment here. Another backcourt offence, this time finished. Finished in some style there by Alessia Rikliuk. Rikliuk, Ukraine international, signed back in 2013 for Zurich. Tallest player on court at 1.96 m tall. Just a touch taller than Mamadova, who's playing through the outside, and another passing error. They can't afford this, the Partizan players. They have to be right on their game where service reception is concerned. Not a great receive, I'm afraid, from the number 8, Rankovic. And a very, very good serve. That's a horrible ball to try and deal with for the libero player. Alexandra Stepanovic getting the start for Partizan. Not that easy to see from the TV cameras, but that ball was coming towards her. She was moving to cover it, and then it just died in the air. Dropped very quickly to the floor. And Slobodan Radovojevic more than happy to get a bit more time with his players. Timeout via the computer tablet that the coaches have been issued with. Referees both have a similar device as well to help them follow. Interesting coach, been with the club 10 years now, but exclusively working with junior players, and has finally been given his chance to work with the senior team, purely because this group of talented individuals that he has brought through the system have now progressed to be the A team. 21 years, the oldest player, Rankovic, number 8. And they have another couple of 20-year-olds in Busa and Stepanovic, the libero. Everybody else is 19, 17, and as young as 15. Sanchez just running around the back to hit that one. Boskovic, though, from the back line. She's positioned that beautifully into the corner. Well, always useful if your opposite player is a left-hander, just brings you that extra dimension, and she's hit that very hard indeed. 17 years old. That was a phenomenal kill. Dragan Balcic just looking a little nervous, but plenty of points to play with for this Volero Zurich team. Nice set from Thompson. Good clear up from Stepanovic. It's unfortunate. Just couldn't get it away from the net to recycle that ball, so Savic in the end gets an unsuccessful last touch. That's a good save from Sanchez. Didn't really penetrate the block on the first time of asking. Goes Olympic silver medalist Courtney Thompson. Quite an unusual service action from the 30-year-old. Well, she's just struggling a little bit with that middle ball, Boskovic. She's found the outside of the line this time. It hasn't looked as stable as the ball that has gone on the reverse to position 1. But the pipe attack, okay this time around. Probably just needs a touch more height on it. Beautiful finish from Sanchez. Cuban-like attack there, slower middle ball. Just waited for it and then hammered it between the two blockers. Stig. It's very well played by both liberos. And again, nearly. Just a little bit unlucky there. Libero for Volero Zurich, Popovic in the number 8 shirt. Gets a good touch on it, and it's hit the really tough part of the net, that very tight cord running through the band. It will sometimes bounce back into play, but more often than not just go to the floor. You want to get it into the meaty part of the net where there's a bit more chance of it pinging back. And they're not doing too badly here, Partizan. Zurich still with a very comfortable lead. They're finding some good plays. That is no mean feat for Rankovic there to block Rikliuk. Great pick up. Oh, phenomenal diving effort in the back line from Popovic. More experienced of the two liberos. 20 years of old age now, Popovic. They do also have another libero on the bench, Natalie Haglund, University of Southern California player. Oh, great blocking. Oh, very definitely avoiding Boskovic to come into that inside track, and the middle blocker for Partizan has closed that down beautifully. Well played, Jovana Kocic. Picks up a big stop on Rabazieva. Partizan back in the game here. Zurich having to rely on, again, the height and power of Sanchez. Takes us to our second technical timeout, and Volero Zurich now know they're in a game in this first set. We'll take a break there. Welcome back. Something for the Swiss fans here in Basel to consider. Volero Zurich running away with the first set against this young team, Partizan Vizura Beograd. But the teenagers have recovered well. Very good work in particular from their captain. Tatiana Boskovic has managed to inspire her team to something of a comeback. Popovic comes off. The libero rotating usually with the middle players, but there's quite a few big players in this Zurich team. Sanchez back to the service line. So no libero on court at the moment for Zurich, but that will soon change. Sanchez's service run is over after another fine kill from this Partizan side. So Popovic in for Sanchez. That's a free roaming substitution. That doesn't get called against the coach. They still have their 6 substitutions available. Nice finish. I don't think Rabatieva particularly enjoyed getting blocked last time around and made sure of it this time. A bit more room for her to work between the blockers. Gap not quite closed. Not the same power from Kocic. Good touch, but it doesn't come back into play. Slađana Merkovic has started well for me. The Partizan setter distributing the ball nicely. The younger players, you're not always going to get that consistency of attack. Oh, that's unlucky from the point of view of Partizan anyway. Very lucky from the point of view of Volero Zurich. Server. Kliuk has contributed a fair amount of points in this opening set. Very good crowd here in Basel for a bit of post-Christmas international volleyball. Most of the teams here involved in the European Champions League, the Denizbank Women's Volleyball Champions League. Volero Zurich, 3 matches so far. They've won 1 and lost 2. Just out to Omichka and Azasabashu, the Turkish side. Nice slide D, well covered in defence by Partizan. And an easier pass for Stepanovic. That's how you hit them. Slightly later movement around the back then from the other middle blocker, Ninkovic. Ninkovic and Sanchez, probably one of the most experienced middle blocking units at this tournament. Rabatieva at the service line, and that comeback looks to be over and done with, I'm afraid. Zurich have got hold of this game now, and Ninkovic follows up the attack around the back of the setter with a straightforward block in that middle position. Just going to have to be a little bit quicker with those sets. Too much time for an athlete of Ninkovic's ability and experience just to stand and block that. Savic on this occasion is stopped, so second timeout called by Slobodan Radojevic. Talking to players that he's talked to for years and years. These are players that he's coached for around about a decade. Coming to the club to start their volleyball in a junior capacity. 7, 8, 9 years of age, and then coming through into the teams from there. Excellent domestic junior record, Partizan, but also have gone on to European success as well at junior level. Plenty of Serbian support, but not quite getting the result they're after. Another left-handed attack from Boskovic, but not quite the same impetus as we've seen from some of the other hits. Just wafts this one over the baseline. Good tight block, well formed as well. No real chance to hit down at the court past Mammadova. Back to Boskovic. And this time into the waiting block of Ninkovic. Mammadova next to Ninkovic. That is well lined up by the Zurich coach, Boltic. Got his rotations right there. And another good block. Ninkovic on fire at the end of this set. Well, this is great stuff from Ninkovic. Beautifully done. A lot of action in the arms and the wrists just to point that ball back into court. And plenty of set points, but the first one goes begging. Rabadzieva chooses that as the moment to change her service. Missing the court by a substantial amount. 7 set points, though, still available. Although Boskovic had a tidy service run last time round. Again, attacking low and fast with that serve. Mammadova off the hands for the finish. And the Azerbaijan international gets the job done for Volero Zurich. One little heart in the mouth moment in that first set for the hosts, but in the end Zurich coming through with flying colours to get the first set of this year's tournament on the board. And Partizan Vizura Beograd are going to have to be a lot more technical in the next set if they're going to get anything out of this. That's from the first set. Nice little comeback from Partizan Vizura Beograd around about the halfway mark, but in the end, Volero Zurich just too strong, solid in attack, made some nice blocks, and at service as well. Took care of a few points, plus those opponent errors, but they were equal for both teams, so not too much to tell there. But from Zurich's point of view, a nice solid start for this team that features 9 nationalities, along with some serious international experience. No surprise to see at the moment, Tijana Boskovic is the most effective player for Beograd. Nice to see a middle blocker up there. Ninkovic doing very well at the end of that set. A kill and 2 blocks. And Ninkovic, the player that dominates the stats for Volero Zurich, but it's been an all-round team effort. They're all very relaxed, the Zurich players. I don't think they have too many concerns in this game. They'll be focusing their attentions on the game against Moliko. That's the 3rd of our live matches today on Eurosport 2. Next up from Group B, it'll be Zareki Odinstvo against Galatasaray, Tekin Istanbul. 3 teams in each group. Top 2 teams will go through to the semi-final stages tomorrow. It'll be Courtney Thompson, the captain for Volero Zurich, the American, gets things underway. And a very scrappy first rally. Oh, a little bit of luck off the net. Mammadova not getting a proper run-up to that ball, so chance here for Boskovic. And that is very well put away. Tenacious effort from Partizan to open this second set. We're going to need some other hitters, though, to step up to the plate with Boskovic in this Partizan team if they're going to make a real go of this match. Kocic, Lozo, Aleksic, Lazovic, and Dimic and Sirovic, all international junior players with Serbia. Boskovic, the only senior international at the moment, getting court time. Well, scrappy again, but still in play. Well, Sanchez getting a ball that was way too high for her. In the end, just switching off from the hit, trying to tip that ball into play, but she's missed the court. So not much good about any of that play there from Volero Zurich. Good start, though, for Partizan. Could get better, and it will get better. Quick look back to the coach to say, why has the referee done that? But that was a clear 2 touches for me. Well called by Milan Labasta, the Czech Republic official. If you're going to set the ball, you've got to handle it cleanly. Finally, the ball over the line for some respite to Volero Zurich. Coach Baltic not happy about the start his team have made. Radovojevic not giving too much away. Mammadova then from the service line for Zurich, straight into the middle of the net. So another point on the board for Partizan. How much longer Mammadova will play. Hasn't had full court time for Zurich. In the Champions League, she's been used a little more sparingly. So we start to fulfill a role now into her 30s as an impact player. We will see. Mirkovic, server and setter for this Partizan team. It's more like it. Clubbing spike from Sanchez through the middle. Well, little talk between she and Thompson after the little mix-up on the previous point, but that was much more like it. It's good confidence setting from the American to go back to the player that she didn't quite connect with. A very good set from Mirkovic out wide. Still difficult to believe Boskovic, just 17 years of age, and the left-hander has turned that beautifully down the line. Real star in the making. That wasn't so good from Thompson, under a little bit of pressure on the pass, but got to the ball quite nicely. Just overcooked that set to Rychliuk. Rychliuk apologising to Courtney Thompson and just saying that maybe she got a little bit inside that one and didn't make the most of it. In fairness to the American setter. Volero Zurich and coach Baltic deciding on a timeout, and they've decided on that because this has been a pretty ropey start to this second set. Very, very easy to drop off the pace against a team that you're beating comfortably. And when it's a team of juniors, well, they don't mind losing. Yes, they want to win everything they play, but at the moment, they're used to coming onto court against senior teams, especially in the European Champions League, and having a tough time of it. So they would expect to be struggling against a team of Volero Zurich's quality, so they don't mind. They'll just keep playing. And if Zurich take their foot off the gas, they could find themselves in a bit of trouble. Great defence. Not quite second time around. Spirited dive in the back line from the setter, Mirkovic. She really should have got that back into play, if we're honest. Knowing smile from Rankovic, because that didn't come close enough to her. Oh, good serve. That's a good serve. That was horrible. That was really high on Sara Lozo's shoulder. The service receiver for this Partizan team, and then just dropped down like a stone. She thought it was going out, but it was a long way in. Poor pass to follow up. Unfortunately, from Partizan's point of view, that good start to the second set, I think, has just stung Zurich into action. Much better play. Ninkovic with another good kill. She loves that hit, running around the back of the setter. So not quite back to parity. Partizan would dearly love to get into the first technical timeout in this second set at 8-5. That would give them a decent shot at staying competitive. Kocic with the serve. Oh, screaming hit. Rabatieva put a little bit extra on that one. That's a super kill from the Bulgarian outside hitter. Rabatieva back to the service line. She serves wide, so Partizan will go to the technical timeout with the lead. And a 2-point lead after what happened to them in the first set. I think they will take that. We're going to take another short break there. Welcome back. We got to hear a little bit of Dragutin Balcic's timeout. He uses a translator to be able to communicate with the English-speaking players in the team. And he really didn't get any more technical than don't make any stupid mistakes, keep playing. Well, when you're dealing with elite athletes, professional athletes, you know they can pretty much sort themselves out. We're just there to look after substitutions, rotations, just keep an eye on things. This is a very solid kill. Interesting to see both opposite players running a pipe attack through one of the rotations, not bothering to try and run round the back to position one all the time. Can sometimes put you under a little bit of pressure to get into the right position. Poor pass, I'm afraid. Stepanovic, so error on service reception as Ninkovic picks up another point to her name. Touched ace. Well, gets it in play, but it's not a good pass. Boskovic has to just roll that down the line. Oh dear. And again, Volero Zurich seeming to just disengage from that point. Not a good pass. Just left an off-pace, unusual attacking option for the opposite player. Sanchez, again, not given a real option there. This is messy stuff from both teams, but fortunately from Zurich's point of view, Boskovic can't roll that into play. Well, plenty of laughter on the Partizan side of the court as well. It is quite a relaxed tournament this close to Christmas, but it is a golden opportunity just to keep things ticking over in the off part of the season before you go back into your domestic leagues and Champions League, which both these teams are involved in. Partizan have played against Racing Club Cannes, Bank Bank, former winners of the Champions League, and Piacenza. Lost to all three, so at the moment they're bottom of Pool E. Good work, Mammadova, getting that off the block and out, and no challenge from the video referee's point of view. Rokovic knew that she got the block, but it didn't quite touch Mammadova on the way back. Boskovic cross court misses. Courtney Thompson wasn't going to be lured into playing that one. Not a bad hit, but just wide of the target. From Volero Zurich's point of view, it's been so-so in the Dennis Bank Champions League. But the Polish side knocked off 3-0. Lost to Omitka and Ezasabashu. One home, one away. Close matches, but still put them under a bit of pressure. Pool D. Currently second, another handling error signalled very confidently by Labasta. It's another handling error against the Volero Zurich players. But from the point of view of the domestic league, both teams going well. Partizan leading their division with 9 wins out of 10 matches. Volero Zurich absolutely dominating the Swiss league this year. 13 wins from 13, only dropped 6 sets and 15 points clear of Volleyball Konitz in second place. Now, while that is excellent and healthy from a club point of view to be in that position, it does mean that domestically they are not getting a challenge. So this tournament is going to be very useful indeed for Zurich, going into the second part of the group stages of the Champions League. Much closer second set, but a very scrappy second set. Neither team will be happy with the way they've played. Vazieva with the miss. Partizan, another 2-point cushion. Now, how long can they hang on to this cushion, I wonder, Partizan? If they can take this all the way through into the 20s, you'd be saying they've got a chance of a set here. And Abadjeva has been stopped. More good blocking. She's not happy on this rotation when Kocic and Boskovic are next to each other in that outside and middle blocking position, but it was all Boskovic that did it. On this occasion, one-on-one block. Rabadzieva's going to have to watch herself here. Stopped again, and we may see a substitution. That's brilliant blocking from the Partizan players. Boskovic, the captain, leading by example, takes them to a 4-point lead, 16-12 at the second technical timeout, and they're in with a real chance in this second set. And a very buoyant timeout area for Partizan Belgrade. And so it should be. 4-point lead here against Volero Zurich. The Serbian fans making their voices heard here in the Jakobshalle in Basel. And it's a good front line for them still. And this time the ball pinballing between the blockers and finally down. Linkovic makes another point. Linkovic may end up as Volero Zurich's top scorer again at the end of this set. Very well, the middle blocker, and that's Unfortunate. These are the mistakes that Partizan can't afford, but they are mistakes that will be made at this level. Sara Lozo, just 17 years of age, making another passing error. She's been targeted by Rychliuk on this particular rotation. It's another poor pass. Right, this time they need a good pass, Volero Zurich. And they just about get it. Courtney Thompson made to work for her corner there. And if you remember on the last rotation, this happened. It was two poor passes from Lozo, but Zurich just took their foot off the gas and didn't attack the ball properly. So lost the point. Not this time, though. Rychliuk again will target Lozo. Lozo again can't get the ball to the setter in front court. Lozo hits, easily picked up by Mammadova. Rabatieva very cautious with that swing. Makes up for it, though, with a nice block. Lozo just rolls it into play once more. And really shouldn't have got away with that. That was quite poor from Rychliuk down the line, because Mammadova was there and could have easily covered that. Rychliuk's defence was a little bit shorter into the court. She's taken the ball off of the Azerbaijan international. You'll notice that Mammadova still went through the routine of going after the ball, going to the floor. That is very much a professional discipline. But that's not a professional pass, and Rabatieva's position on court might be under a little bit of pressure here. They've got Hartung of the USA, Graham Vorka of Switzerland to come on in that wing attack position. They've also got Montenegro. So plenty of hitters on the bench for the team in blue. Royal blue, that is. Rakovic this time missing out. So neither of the wing spikers playing particularly well for Partizan. It's slow to her side to try and make that play. Rabatieva, I think, would be grateful to be on backcourt for the moment. Good play. That's really good play. Little inquiry there, probably quite rightly, actually, from Ninkovic, just to say to the referee, are you sure that was legal? But the tip from Savic, judged to be absolutely fine from Milan Labasta, and Milan wanting a word with the Volero Zurich captain, Courtney Thompson, to say, don't let your players talk to me. It's not their job. You want a word, you talk to me personally, but the players do not talk to me. Savic there, maybe getting away with one. That was shoulder height, but she'll take it. Partizan then, still with a healthy lead, 19-16. Volero Zurich struggling to make points here. Second bite at the cherry, back line. Not much volition in that attack, but fortunately for Zurich, their opposite player, Rychliuk had her eyes open and saw the space, so made the point look easy in the end. Nice setting from Courtney Thompson, and a very nice run from Ninkovic to take the blockers away. Now Partizan have got to stay focused, mustn't make errors like that. With a little bit of space, it does allow the setter to try and make those middle plays, but Mirkovic on that occasion missing, and you can't help but think maybe that's the time to go back to Boskovic. Couple of kills from Boskovic and you're in business. I think she'll go there now. No, can't make it, but makes a very tidy kill herself. That's quick thinking and quick hands from Mirkovic. Not easy to do this and stay legal. And the leave in the end from Ninkovic. But the ball was in, well played by the Partizan setter. Maintains that advantage, but it's a slim advantage. If they can get Boskovic back into the front court, they've got a chance in this set. Oh, stunning block. Well, that ball nearly came back under Mammadova's feet. That was so good, so crisp. And marvellous timing from Savic, marvellous penetration of the net. And Mammadova might have had many of those come back to her in her career. Great blocking from Partizan, and they're making this slightly weaker front line look very effective. Thompson saves it. Nice put away. Not easy for Rygliuk in that middle position. Not a lot of court to work with. So just threads it past Savic's block. And off of the arms of Boskovic. Good shot. If in trouble, if in doubt, just try and go to that back court, deep corner in position 1. It's always a good hitting position from the middle, whether you're front or back court. At the very worst, it's going to pressure either the backcourt setter or the opposite player. Now, Boskovic, I'm sure, will get the ball. No, goes wide. Tarankovic, who doesn't put it away. This time, Stepanovic wise to the tip. This time, Boskovic gets it. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. And Boskovic here is having a cracking second set. And the rest of her team are coming to the party as well. That is a super hit. 3-woman block formed, and formed very nicely. She's beaten it with ease. Doesn't Baltic know it? This is not good for Volero Zurich. Red-hot favourites to win this opening match. But the Belgrade Sharks, as they are known, are baring their teeth. Good performance from the youngsters. So substitution is made. So Untenara comes in, 21 years of age. Signed for Zurich back in 2011, one of the domestic players on this team. But for serving and backcourt defensive play here. Good touch, great pickup from the libero. And this time, Rabadzieva gets the ball away, but she had a much easier block to hit against. Good finish from her, but didn't have to worry about Boskovic, who's still in the back line. That is some pickup from Popovic. That's a pretty good kill, over the top of the setter this time. Merkovic powerless to stop her. This is Zurich's time. They need to attack for points here. Oh, and that's a poor miss. Not a great set from Thompson. Never made it all the way out for Rygliuk to really attack. And the worry for Zurich is that Boskovic gets back to the front line, and it's going to be tough for them to win the set then. And Dragutin Baltic knows this is an impact moment in this second set. There's some translations going on.
We have transition and we don't use that. Mnogo više od tebe u sebe mora stati i odgovornosti. Sad prvo mora se da sediš sa sve napad. I sa sve pojem, onda žutiš blok.
I know it makes you guys laugh sometimes when you get to hear the professional coaches working and you think, well, where's the magic there? But all the work is done back in the gym, remember. On court, in matches, it's just about reminding the players what they need to do. Volero Zurich under some pressure here in Basel in this second set. Partizan Vizura Beograd playing very well. They've got their big gun back on the front court. Boskovic. Oh, that's some hit. Rygliuk with the put away. Coach Baltic's main push in the last time out was the fact they just keep failing to use their transition plays. Transition play meaning that you've got the ball in defence, back into play. And now you've got to kill it for points. Didn't make it though. Another new player on court, Kuprianova. For Volero Zurich, and a miss from Boskovic. No, touch the hands. Now then, do we see a challenge? We won't. That was a clear touch on the fingers. Boskovic versus Rygliuk. Great little match up there. And Boskovic is doing a superb job for her team. Set points then for Partizan. They were definitely not favourites to take a set in this match, but they are battlers, this junior team. Packed with young talent that knows no fear. and they really have gone after it in the second set. They've tidied things up, they've made a lot less direct errors. Boskovic has hit superbly. Mirkovic, to her credit, the 17-year-old, has distributed well in that playmaking position. As we just double-check rotations are correct. They are. And away we go. Set points then, 2 of them for Partizan. No, another chance here for Zurich. Rabadzieva gets the ball down. In fact, Rikiliuk, my apologies, gets the ball down. She's not defending well, is Rankovic. Being asked to defend just to the right side as we look at the back of the court, the right side of position 6, which means that she's got to dive and make the plays with her left hand down that line, and she hasn't made a pick up there yet. It's an open position. So Rikiliuk goes back to serve. That means Courtney Thompson is in the front court, so there is a hitting option here. If Partizan can get this ball under control, they can really attack the setter in front court. And they're not going to. Boskovic is the target, and she hits very comfortably past the block of Rabadzieva and Ninkovic. And Boskovic will surely be in the shop window, just 17 years of age, and she's making some of these kills look very easy indeed. And Partizan's superstar young captain has finished the job off. It is 1 set all, and we've got a game on our hands now here in Basel. To Basel and the Top-Volley International Tournament. Let's take a look at the stats for the second set. Very well played from Partizan Vizura Beograd to make it 1-all. As you look down those various totals, still no massive differences in the teams that would suggest why Partizan would move forward on the stat sheets, but Boskovic was absolutely awesome. Her blocking at the net was very good, and her attacking was superb, and Boskovic well ahead now in those stats for Beograd. For Zurich, just ahead of Ninkovic, so the opposite and the middle player doing the job at the moment. Quality across all positions, but someone still has to step up and take responsibility, and from Zurich's point of view, they haven't quite done that. And their passing, which has been a problem in the Champions League this year, their passing has once again been an issue, and Partizan have gone after that with the service. It's made things very tricky indeed for their experienced international captain, Courtney Thompson of the USA. The setter has struggled to get to the ball on a regular basis and really set this ball up for the attackers to function. And that has led to some very bitty and scrappy side-outs. But there's Boskovic in the number 18 shirt. That's the star for Partizan. And she's proved it in this first set. Seems to be playing without a care in the world. So Mammadova with that very heavily strapped left thigh and quad. Azerbaijan international has not played the whole season. Struggling to get in on that fast, flat set. I think there's a real case here for either Mammadova or Rabazieva to be taken off the court by Zurich. Oh, dear me, and it's Mammadova's turn to get in someone's way. She was deprived of a play in the second set. And in the third, Rabazieva was going to receive that ball comfortably, and Mammadova just suddenly snatches at it and skews it wide, and Partizan getting off to another good start. Oh, that's not so good, I'm afraid, from Partizan. Just handing the ball straight back. Finally, Rikliuk gets the kill. She's looked the most effective of the outside hitters at the moment, the Ukraine international. I have to say, there's a few Zurich players not moving well out on court. Mammadova looks like she's really struggling with that left leg. Good save, but no attack from Partizan. Rikliuk again with a very solid kill. Good wrap over the top of the ball to send that cross court. Lozor's passing in the number 4 shirt continues to be an issue. I think Volero Zurich are going to really target her in this third set. They don't want any more slip-ups in this match. Thompson back to the service line, so 3 tall blockers in the front court for the next 3 rotations for Zurich. Free ball. Interesting, with the outside changes that could have been made, actually it's a change in the middle. Kuprianova of Russia, signed from Tiumen in the off-season, is on in the number 18 shirt for Volero Zurich. As Mammadova sorts it out. Kuprianova physically not as strong as either Sanchez or Ninkovic, the 2 middle blockers for Zurich, but she's tall. Times things very well in the front court and often gets good slow-down touch blocks into play. But doesn't hit the ball as hard. It's good defense from Partizan, and Kuprianova passes again, gets a second go. So 3 sets from Thompson to Kuprianova early in this third set, and finally the Russian middle player gets the ball away. Thompson just determined to sort out her timing here with the Russian middle, and sorts it out well. Good stop. And again, nice hands. Told you Kuprianova's timing was good. Lines up very well next to Rikliuk. It was her that got the slow-down block to start with. A little bit unlucky that went back into play on the wrong side of the net. But it was Rikliuk that got the hands on the tip. Scoring well is the number 7 for Volero Zurich. Good pass from Stepanovic. That's sweet. That is really sweet. Rikliuk with a fantastic kill. So many setters force that reverse ball wide, and if you've got a right hand or a left hand opposite player, if you just get that off the back of your shoulders, you don't want it traveling too far. That's a horrible ball for the players to try and block, and more often than not it's one-on-one with the middle player. Good dig from Mammadova. Nice play as well. Libero Popovic Thompson gets in on the defensive play, so all three backcourt players defending. Stepanovic keeps it alive, Rankovic off the wing. And a bump set finally from Popovic, a little bit inside, but that's crunched by Rabadzieva, and another good pickup from Stepanovic. Long rally this one. Well, easily the rally of the match. The danger there that Rugliuk could have gone for that ball too early before it had come into Volero Zurich space. But she waited, she was patient, and then just popped that on the floor in front of her. It's the longest rally we've seen so far. And finally, the Swiss crowd can pick up the volume again, because Zurich back to a very comfortable lead. 4 points advantage then in this third set. Smolodova prepares to serve. Very, very good cross-court attacking. Quite sure why Boskovic was asking for the touch to be called, because that looked comfortably into me. I think the Swiss team, Zurich, feel that this was definitely out. Pretty close to the back line. Lots of pleading. That's why the touch was being asked for, because it has finally been confirmed as in. Rugliuk just sorts it out straight away. So that takes Volero Zurich to an 8-4 lead. That takes us to our first technical timeout. This third set. Well, Courtney Thompson knows her own mind. 30 years of age now, years and years of international and professional playing experience. So just a little raise of the eyebrows after that pearl of wisdom from Dragutin Baltic. You'll notice that it's the countrywoman Ninkovic that's doing the translations for the Serbian coach. I think that's extra pressure on the middle player, but she's responding well. She's dealing with that role well. But you take that into a, you know, maybe a tough fifth set, away from home, crowd screaming. Very difficult to hear, and Ninkovic suddenly has to be translating from her coach to her players. I'm sure that's the ideal situation. And I'm not sure that that doesn't leave you in a tricky situation yourself. If you're saying something to a player, and it isn't a positive comment from the coach, then the player has to be has to have a good relationship with you to understand that it's not you that's saying that. So technical timeout over, back on court. Volero Zurich looking good in this third set, or certainly better than the second. Nice tidy block from Ninkovic and Rabadzieva. Very tricky for the left-hander playing on the left side of court. If the set doesn't get to you, you really do have to accelerate the footwork to get into the ball. Boskovic there almost tripping herself up. So a change for Partizan. Here comes Aleksic. 17-year-old middle blocker. Stands 1.87 meters. Again, Boskovic can't get a swing on the ball. Okay, good cut shot. Rabatieva's got to do a lot more of that. We saw a miss-hit a cut shot in the first set that got a point when it dropped in front of Lozo. It was, in the end, a very effective attack off a poor shot. But she's got to do this a lot more. She's trying to hit on the inside of the ball. She's hit it at Boskovic, so taking on the better player for Partizan, and 1 out. It's a good finish. That's what Partizan need. They need other players to come to the party here. They've got to have more contribution from Brankovic and Lozo out wide. Haven't attacked really with any ferocity. But Brankovic put that one away nicely. Well, Brazilian side Moliko are going to be watching this with great interest. And they'll be watching it for a number of reasons. I think firstly, the pass by Volero Zurich has not been all that solid. So the woman in your picture in the 15 shirt, the captain Thompson and setter, has been running all over the place to make sets. So she's going to be tired coming into game 2. I don't think Mammadova or Rabadzieva have been moving all that well. And the Brazilian team, with a couple of pretty tall players themselves, will be fancying their chances, I think. But let's not count Partizan out of it just yet. Partizan could really upset the apple cart here if they can get a result against Zurich. That makes game 2 very interesting today, in Group A, that is. Game 2 on the day is Odinsovo versus Galatasaray. Well, you've got to hand it to Boskovic. She's making a huge number of kills for a 17-year-old. Lovely shot. Bisects the two defenders. With the kill after a good receive, I think, from Rabadzieva. Women's height net, 224. That ball comes over low, flat, fast. It's horrible to pass. So we see some very good, very effective float servers in the women's game. Lozo trying her hardest here. That's a reasonably good approach. Snapped hard on the ball, but just missed the fingers. Pass from Stepanovic. Well recycled by Volero Zurich. Mammadova. Oh, can't quite get the ball away. Stepanovic with 2 good plays. That's another great pickup. This time from Rabadzieva. And, well, Thompson cannot keep doing that. She's angry with herself. She will immediately apologise to Mammadova. She's selling her big Azerbaijan hitter short just about every time. That's a poor set. Mammadova is racing in and just trying to hammer these, but she just doesn't have the mobility at the moment. That left leg is certainly holding her back. Oof, that's nasty. That is nasty. That's a big hit from Ninkovic, and that's caught Boskovic either high in the shoulder or just on the chin. Yeah, just high up in the left shoulder. And a quick apology from Ninkovic. Acknowledged. From her now senior international teammate, Boskovic. Ninkovic's comments will be after this match, because I think she'll be incredibly impressed with the way this essentially junior squad has played. But this is the Partizan Vizura Beograd A team. They have a junior policy. They have a policy where they try and develop players through the ranks. And it's working. Bang on the baseline. So another point to Partizan. Interesting to see a fair few units within the unit working there. You'll notice a couple of the players from the same country having their own discussions. 3 Serbians in the Volero Zurich team. Ukrainians, 2 Americans. Looking very perky up on the referee stand, Milan Labasta, just keeping an eagle eye on everything as the teams come back on the court. And away we go again. So I think Partizan a little unlucky on that last call, but didn't challenge it. Back line, Boskovic gets enough of a wrap on that one to get it off. Ninkovic and out. Fortunately for Volero Zurich, they have a huge cushion in this third set. Let's pick up from Stepanovic. Mammadova is nowhere near as effective as she normally is from this wing position. This time makes the kill, but Thompson has got to get the ball out there to her. Mammadova's movement is definitely restricted at the moment, so Thompson mustn't make her work too hard, especially on that inside shot. Needs to give her a little bit of width, give her plenty of options to go past whichever blocker she wants to.
Team! Here we go, guys, here we go!
Technical timeout, followed by another timeout. A few delays here for Partizan to get their heads back together and try and get themselves back in this third set, but it's going to be virtually impossible. I think now 3 very tall lineups to come, because Thompson has just moved to the back line. So Volero Zurich strong at the net. Vazieva, I think, just changed her mind on that shot, came in to hit it very hard, and then saw the block formed and just tried to cut that a little bit wider. Trust yourself, take the block on. Good pass from Vazieva. Wide to Rikliuk, and Boskovic. He's just struggling a little bit in the backcourt for her attacking ability. Defensively, it's just been picked on a bit, but that was a tough one to play. Rikliuk making that look very easy. A stuttering performance here from Volero Zurich. Just can't quite get this rolling towards 25 in the way that they would like. Mirkovic back to serve, been a little more quiet in this third set as the playmaker for Partizan. That won't help the situation. Kill. Rankovic has really been the only other contributor in the wing hitting positions. Lozo, I think, has struggled. Where outside hitters are concerned, I think you've got to always bring the pass into the equation. That's over the baseline and out. For every kill you make as an outside hitter, how many poor passes have you made? How many errors have you made? Subtract one from the other to see how effective a player is, and Rankovic and Lozo have not been effective for Partizan. Boskovic, on the other hand, has been pretty good. Well done, well recycled by Zurich. Boskovic again. Put that little bit extra into the approach. You would have heard the shout as she went into the air. She was always going to hit that hard. Sometimes they come back with interest off the block, but she found a very, very good angle.
Contact time for the ladies from Beograd.
Maja Aleksic still keeping her position on court. We'll see whether she comes out for the fourth set after that service error. Lozo just a little bit too much for Berkovic to handle on this occasion. So Volero Zurich moving towards a more effective score in this third set after the scare of losing the second. But what they don't want to do is then relax too much and let this drift into a fifth set. They've got to be very careful that doesn't happen, Zurich, because they're the team that has to play a second game today against the Brazilian side, Malika. And tomorrow, it'll be Partizan against Malika to finish off the group, and then we'll go into the semi-final stages. So Volero Zurich already knew they had a tough day ahead. They had to win or play well in 2 games today. With just a game off in between the 2 matches, that's just long enough for the muscles to cool down. Got to get some food on board as well. So it's a tough day, I think, for the older players, the 30-year-olds, of which there are 2 in the Zurich team, Courtney Thompson and Natalia Mammadova. Won't be enjoying the second warm-up, I can tell you. Well, that was a difficult hitting position from her. Had to come in off the line. Didn't quite get there. Volero Zurich getting closer to getting this job done. Nikovic back to serve. Two points required for a 2-1 lead to the team in royal blue and white. Nikovic made to work hard again for the play. Good save, but out. Again, transition is a problem for Volero Zurich. These are, this particular level of volleyball, these are effectively free balls being given back to you. They have to be passed to the setter. Bread and butter. Mammadova tips. Rankovic just rolls it into play again. Wing spikers have not been effective for Partizan. Out on the left-hand side. Oh, good block. Good work again from Popovic to keep this live. Nice solid libero defending. And then a bit cheeky from Kupriana. Just turning and jumping and getting the hands in the air, unfortunately for her. The ball was played straight onto them. Plenty of set points then for 2-1. Good line-up in the front court for Zurich. Thompson serves. And this should be the job done. Boskovic feeds a free ball. And finally a transition, looks effective. Kupriana runs that little C behind. Just around the back of the setter. Gets a good set from Thompson. But it was the Thompson serve that really set it up. Tough pass for Partizan. And a tough set for them. Zurich lead 2-1. We'll take a break there. There'll be anything else in this match, or are Volero Zurich finally in control at 2-1? Certainly Partizan will be hoping that that isn't the case, but they're going to have to play a lot better than they did in that last set. That's not great statistics, I'm afraid, for the Serbian team. Riklio continues to be dominant for Zurich. Ninkovic continues to do a fantastic job through the middle, and Boskovic continues to be the leading light by some distance for Partizan Beograd. As you can see, Savic and Rankovic way down on the pace. Savic, a middle player, Rankovic, the other outside player, along with Lozo. And they just haven't contributed enough at the moment. But remember, we're talking about two players that are, in relative experience and age terms, very young. Rankovic at 21 is the senior player, if you can believe that, in this Partizan side. That Lozo, the other outside hitter, just 17 years of age, just like the captain, Boskovic. Yeah. There's a bit of Serbian support, a few flags around, I can tell you. Really enjoyed the second set when Partizan certainly came to the party. I thought from Boskovic's point of view, it was a fabulous performance from her. But that's all forgotten now, because Volero Zurich back in control, 2-1, as we prepare to start the fourth set. And in terms of the rest of their day, Zurich still have the Brazilian team Mollica to play. They would like to get this one over and done within 4. I still think that's one set too many for them. There's going to be some sore shoulders and sore knees on that Swiss team. Nice stop, very good stop. Capriana has been brought in for the Cuban, Sanchez. And Caprianova doing a great job here, blocking that cross-court shot from Rankovic. But that's what Caprianova is known for, her blocking ability, and she's making it count. Block, one service error, 1-all. There's one of the leading players for this Partizan team, Maja Savic, middle blocker, goes back to the service line. Oldest player along with Rankovic. But still, relative to the age and experience of the Zurich team, they're a good few seasons lacking. Coach will have his reasons, but I'm just looking very hard down to the court there for the Partizan team to see exactly where Boskovic is, and there's no space on court for her at the moment. I think that coach Radivojevic has made a decision here. I think he's decided that as far as he's concerned, this game is gone. Yes, if his team can pull something out the fire, then that's fine, but they're going to have to do it without Boskovic, because she's going to be rested for tomorrow's game. So Lazovic is in for Boskovic, and Lazovic is just 15 years of age, Serbian junior international. Just passed the ball there, playing in the number 7 shirt. What a game for her to come into. It doesn't have a massive amount of pressure on it. This is a chance to just get some court time and experience it. I think Boskovic being rested for tomorrow's game against Mollica. Partizan certainly playing well enough to cause the Brazilian side a few problems, especially if they serve as well as they have done today. But Volero Zurich have got the bit between their teeth now, starting to function at a far better level. And these transition plays being converted at will at the moment. To serve again. 3 good rotations still to come for Zurich in terms of the height of the players in the front court. And that's what's going to make it very difficult for the outside hitters for Partizan. Lozo stopped on this occasion. And you can't honestly say it was a plan to win this set. It's a plan to rest Boskovic. And I'm afraid the plan is causing some serious problems for the players left out on court for this Partizan Beograd team. Thompson will continue to serve. Good pick up from Popovic. That's very tidily done. Popovic right on the head of Thompson. Thompson didn't have to move far at all for that one. What was a pretty powerful hit from Rankovic. Racing away then to what should be a match-winning lead here. Good stop. Kuprianova has certainly proved her worth since coming on from Sanchez. And that means that Volero Zurich now cementing their position in this fourth set. They lead 8-1. We'll go to a break there. Welcome back. The Swiss crowd just going a little bit quiet. Very interesting comment from Coach Baltic to his Volero Zurich players. He said, come on, show some emotion out there on court and show the crowd what we're all about. Translated by Ninkovic, of course. So he wants to see his team finishing the point, celebrating winning the points, and getting some atmosphere into the Jakobshalle here in Basel. Good pick up from Popovic. Great scramble from Mammadova. Mammadova, 1.96 meters tall. So taller than quite a few male professional volleyball players. But despite that heavy strapping on the left leg, still trying very hard in defence. Decent pass from Rabatieva, but Thompson just setting that ball too low and flat. Gave a real opportunity to Alexic, and she took it. 2 quick points lost there by Zurich.
Substitution, Swissness is back on the court. Herzlich willkommen in der Nummer 2, Laura Unterkläger.
So Mammadova replaced. Untere is on. So Azerbaijan replaced by Switzerland. Untere a little bit more mobile than Mammadova in the backcourt at the moment. But again, any time, any energy saved in the legs, I think at this point is going to be good for Volero Zurich. Situation recovered. Mazieva puts it away off Lazovic. In fact, it was Rankovic, my apologies. Lazovic still in the backcourt. Lazovic, the replacement for Boskovic, now moves to the front line. Untere puts the ball into the net. Good finish. Just solidly played off the block from Rikliuk. And one of those players that really doesn't like playing in the short-sleeved top, so tends to have what looks like socks on her arms just to protect them. Thompson's the same. Although Thompson doesn't do a lot of passing, hers is more about diving onto the flooring. Doesn't want to pick up burns to the elbows. Just lost a bit of atmosphere, I'm afraid, at the moment from this game. I think it's because the crowd know exactly which way this is going. Despite that Volero Zurich, despite the fact they're winning, there's not a lot to cheer, although that pick-up from Volero was a superb one. Kuprianova can't make it a play on the second time round, but this is what Unter's on for, and that is a terrific piece of defensive play from the Swiss international. But a very nice hit on the follow-up. Alexic back to the service line for Partizan. Oh, clever. Little roll shot from Rankovic into the middle of the court. Left the Swiss players flat-footed. Popovic less than happy about that. Popovic or Durek could have got to that one. Oh, that one's too far. Well defended. Quick thinking from Thompson. Still in play. Too tight to the net again. Easy pickings for Ninkovic. Second easiest point she'll score today. Good thinking though from Thompson at the start of the rally. She realised that ball was too far over the net. She couldn't set it, so she dropped off and picked up the defensive play. Good work from the American. Got her hands on that block as well, but she's not a tall player. Thompson at 1.70 m. So really should be picked off by Lasovic. Now, a chance to see what Lasovic can do in the front court. Same age as Boskovic, but a very different player. Nowhere near the height of the opposite. So a little bit easier for players to go past, and Rabadzieva nowhere near as concerned attacking through the wing. Whereas Boskovic was all over her. Just seeing the way they've set up, actually, is Savic running around the back. Lasovic, number 7, coming across the front line along with the setter by the looks of it. So it might be Lozo that they've put to the opposite position, or Rankovic. Lasovic with the serve. Very, very easy put away. Far too easy for Rikliuk. 1 point off the second technical timeout now for Volero Zurich. Savic, one-on-one, just turning around and asking the defenders why there was no effort from them. She's got a point. In play. Rabadzievich goes on the reverse, and that's a nice block. This time Savic gets in amongst it with Rankovic, so it is Lozo that's opposite. That's what you want to see from your players. You know, a middle player like Ninkovic committing to the ground. If that ball had gone past the blockers, she would have made the play in defence. Untere gets a run on the front line. That's a hell of a hit. Not the best pass from Untere, but a brilliant cross-court shot. And that's the way to book yourself a place on court for the rest of the match. Mamadova being rested, Untere doing the job. And the second technical timeout comes around. We'll take a break. Welcome back. Volero Zurich in complete control now of our opening match from the Top-Volley Women's International Tournament here in Basel, Switzerland. And despite some spirited efforts from Partizan Vizura, Beograd and their junior team, they just haven't quite been able to compete with the international quality and experience of Zurich in the blue and white, royal blue and white that is. But if you've just joined us, it isn't Partizan's junior squad, it is a squad of juniors that effectively makes up their A-team. Really is quite an impressive situation at the moment at Partizan. All Serbian players, with the exception of 3 of their 12-woman lineup, all teenagers and junior players. Screaming in off the wing, Rankovic, but she knew that ball was dropping into the blocker's hands. It's never a good feeling, but as an outside player, your responsibility is to try and beat the ball. Get there quickly, see if the line opens up, and it didn't. Good stop. That's a hell of a block. Really up next to Kuprianova, who's done well coming onto court. Untara still on for Mammadova of Azerbaijan, but Untara providing less of an obstacle for the Partizan players to hit round or over. So Lozo makes a good kill there. Lozo's been switched from position 4, the wing attack, into an opposite position to cover for the fact that Boskovic, their star player and captain, is being rested in this set. But from here, this should only be Volero Zurich's match, and a very nervous smile from number 14, Jirovic, who comes onto court, 17 years of age, one of 7 junior Serbian internationals in this team. Good serve, well passed though. Rabatsieva. Jirovic on to replace the 19-year-old setter Merkovic. Again, picking on Rabatsieva, but nice work. Good set from Thompson. Flat, fast, wide to Untara, and absolutely left the middle player on the Partizan side of the net for dead. Committed to that middle, and very fine set from the Volero Zurich captain. Good battling here from Partizan still. That's a nice shot. That is a very good hit from Lazovic, just threading that into the corner from a long way off the net. This was by no means a genuine all-out attack. This was just keep it in play, put some pressure on. Popovic is beaten. She won't be happy with that, the Zurich libero. Partizan and their coach will not be happy with the follow-up. Rankovic, senior player with Savic on court now, at 21 years of age, puts that into the net. Well, plenty to think about, but plenty of positives, I think, for this Partizan team. Another fantastic demand when they play tomorrow against Moliko Sasko, Brazilian club. Another point goes the way of Volero Zurich, and this game just about done and dusted now. No way for Partizan back into this one. And our first match of this season's Basel Top-Volley International Tournament is going to go the way of the home team. By home team, I mean the Swiss side. Zurich, also based in northern Switzerland, but a little further to the east of the country. Whereas Basel is right up there on the French-German border. Calm, coaching principles here. He's not happy, but he's not letting rip. And you can't do that. You just can't at the start of a tournament. Yes, he would want to see more from his players, but they've had a few day's break for Christmas, then it was on to the plane on Boxing Day to get here. Very brief training session when they arrived, and then this morning, and then on to court. So quite tough few days for the teenagers. And this match turning against them very quickly. Another off-paced attack gets the point, despite the despairing dive of Kuprianova. Well, they work from time to time. Hartong is on, incidentally. Apologies, I missed that substitution. So Emily Hartong through the wing, 22 years of age. Picked up from the University of Hawaii when she came to the end of her degree, signed for Volero Zurich. And that's a cheap point. So both benches getting a run out here. That means that Rabadzieva is being rested along with Mammadova. No sign that Anna Grabac is going to get a run out, the Croatian setter, instead of Thompson for Zurich. Getting caught right under the chin there of Rigliuk. She's seen the funny side of it, fortunately, because the ball wasn't hit particularly hard. We've had a near injury moment. Rigliuk herself absolutely creaming a ball cross-court, catching Boskovic high up. In fact, it was Ninkovic, my apologies. It was a Serbian international colleague of Boskovic. Ninkovic right on cue with the runaround. Slide D, as it's called, just smooth as you like, out to the wing, and that's a beautiful set from Thompson. Completely opens up the court past Laskovic. 2 points required then to complete what, in the end, will be a solid win. It's close to a footfall, that looked, from Hartong, but gets away with it. But in the end, matters little. Decent put away from Savic, who's had a good game overall. The middle player for Partizan has been solid. Lasovic with the service. Popovic gets a very flat pass in to Thompson, who fires it out wide, and Thompson and Untara seem to have a very good understanding. That's the kind of ball Thompson wants to be setting. It's not the sort of ball that Rabadzieva and in particular Mammadova are that happy hitting. They want just a little bit more loop on the ball, whereas Thompson is firing it flat and wide. And Untara and Hartong will hit those all day. 24-15 then. Lots and lots of match points for Volero Zurich to get off to a winning start. They're going to be made to wait, though. Lasovic again with the kill. This time into the other corner, so she's already killed one deep 5, that goes deep 1. But still, 8 very comfortable match points in the bag for Volero Zurich. Who's going to do the job? Who's going to apply the finishing touch? And it is Kuprianova that does it through the middle, slides around the back for the kill. Two coaches shake hands, one congratulatory, one consoling. And Volero Zurich are through. I'm not going to say comfortably, because they were given a little bit to think about by Partizan in set 2. But that's a solid enough performance, and they will be happy that sets 3 and 4 were relatively straightforward, and they were able to rest some of the starting players, and that's what they need, because they've still got another game to come today in Group A, have Volero.